No, check it out. So I also got this. I bought a couple things to prepare for the move.
Oh shoot, I cropped out too much.
I have.
You bought stuff for a movie?
Move for the move.
Oh, that makes more sense.
So I got monitors. I got monitor holders for my desk.
Yeah, you did, so you can mount them.
I have 48 sound pads.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're super condensed.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to soundproof my office, and it's going to be great for recording. I'm also thinking, so layout-wise, I have a bunch of video games. And I'm thinking of making a back wall of just my games.
Oh, okay.
So almost like a giant poster, but of all my game cartridges. So instead of putting them on a shelf, I'm just going to make a wall of them.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I think that'll be pretty awesome.
I think so too.
Right now, everybody can see 3 of us.
3 of us? Who's the third person?
Well, I mean, each of us 3 times.
Oh man, this website's pretty badass.
Oh, I do actually have to block some stuff out. It's not. Does it count edit if I'm editing it? If I like block out personal stuff?
I don't know.
Are the Patreon guys going to be upset about that?
I think they'll be fine.
I don't even know if any of the Patreons have watched it. In all honesty,
I don't know either.
I didn't even look.
I have no idea.
Let's look right now and call them out. Call them out. All out.
Call them out on it.
Yeah.
We do all this work for you guys. How dare you?
Yeah, you guys didn't even ask for it. We just decided we were doing this for you guys. So how dare you?
Dare you not appreciate it?
Oh, Zio, you're going to be a lot more impressed with it this time.
Am I?
Yeah. Well, because right now I've got it set up so it's like the top of it. It's got our faces, and it like covers the whole top of the video this time. And then I've got our chat in the bottom middle. So then what we can do next podcasts when we improve this even more is I can slide the chat over to the like the little thing that we have here. Like, how about also I'm just trying to clear all that stuff we had up there. There we go. So we can like slide that up to the side and we can throw image. Yeah, that's beautiful. So we can throw some images up in there, which would be pretty awesome.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want with it. So I'll send you a screen. Actually,
okay.
Here's what I'll do right now. Because, how do I do, what's the snipping tool?
Control C?
No.
It's copy or Control X.
Don't worry, I got this.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Don't worry, I got this. I don't know why I'm sending you what XSplit looks like, but that's okay. It's a great look on your face.
Thanks.
Save as downloads. Yes.
There you go, for people to look at.
Oh, nice. They can't see it yet. Now they can see it. Or maybe they could see it before. Maybe they only saw a portion of it. This, Mr. Zio, is what it looks like right now.
Oh man, that looks so cool.
Yeah, just don't worry about those lines.
Okay.
Don't worry about those lines.
I won't worry about those lines.
So that's what I was talking about. Like it looks so much nicer, I think. And then we can like slide it over to the side. And the way this is set up is I can crop other things. And we can just throw a yellow background behind it. And I don't have to do anything in post.
Boom.
Boom. So I think that's pretty sweet. We're getting better.
Did you see the new test image I made for our thumbnails?
Was that the one you put up? I can't look at it right now because it'll change everything.
I will give a special.
Ooh. Oh, I was gonna look up to see if they even watch her.
Copy that. I'm gonna bring it back over this way. Special just for
hit us up with
our
hit us up with it.
Boom.
Oh yeah, I saw that. What's with the arms of the tan guy?
That is Toll testing out VR.
Okay.
That's Ness, not just a tan guy.
Wait, that's what Ness looks like now?
No, it's a desaturated photo.
Okay. Okay, that makes more sense.
So yeah, the
I was
idea
worried that
is
his colors were all gone.
No, yeah, that's Toll playing with VR, and apparently, like, it's super glitchy. Like, you have to be very precise with VR, but we can do some really cool stuff with it. Like, I did get a test shot of Toll slapping somebody.
0 people watched this.
It means we can just do whatever we want.
Yeah,
no one will know.
well, I mean, I'm trying to think of a way that we can actually put together a playlist for this kind of stuff. Patreon actually updated how they do things, and we can upload stuff to Vimeo. And then only people who have access to who are actual Patreon subscribers can watch the videos on Vimeo. So I don't know if that's something that we want to put this stuff on.
Sure.
Because I don't know how else to do.
I don't really know much about Vimeo.
I don't really know how else to do a playlist for this stuff for our subscribers. And Vimeo is essentially the same. It's just a video uploading site.
Okay.
Like,
sure.
There's like the daily.
I mean, it
something.
can't hurt, right? It just gives us more ways for someone to find us somewhere.
Well, but what I meant was this version of the podcast, the stuff for our Patreon.
Okay.
Because there's no easy way to just make a playlist if someone jumps in that's new.
That's true.
Unless the only other thing I could think of is we make a chat in the Discord, the Patreon section. And we just throw in we just call it podcasts, make it so nobody can post in it except for us. And then we just throw in the link for each podcast. That way the Patreon people will know too that this is even a thing, because they might not even know about this.
Yeah.
Because we just kind of started it and then didn't tell anybody. Except they get the notifications when we upload to Patreon. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to watch the videos early.
They should, and then we also been mentioning it every podcast.
That's true. We have. So, I don't know. We'll see.
We can just keep mentioning it, and eventually somebody's gonna be like, yeah, well, it's just $1.
Yeah, but I mean, worst case scenario, if they have 0 interest in this, then we just slowly shift this over to just how we naturally do the podcasts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think eventually this could just be better. Or maybe we can just make this the type of podcast. I don't know, so people can watch it. Maybe our watch retention will go up because of it.
Oh, maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Either way. Yeah. So, I think it'd be fun to talk about some other stuff leading into Genshin.
Oh, would it? Yeah. What kind of stuff do you find interesting? You talking about like right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I watched a movie recently.
What would you watch? I can't decide which you I want to look at. I've got you right there, and I've got you right there.
Well, I've only got one of you, so I have to look at that one.
All right, I'm gonna throw this away.
I saw Ready or Not. It was awesome. Everything I ever wanted.
Which one's Ready or Not?
Okay, so I don't know if you saw a trailer for it, but basically this woman gets married into this family who is known for video games.
Yeah.
Not video games, board games. And then to initiate her into the family, they're like, oh, we have to play a game with you. We're going to play hide and seek. So she goes and hides, and then they try to murder her.
What?
Yeah. So she goes and hides, and they try to murder her. That's basically, it's like a dark comedy.
Does she know she's trying to get murdered?
No, she finds out, naturally, once they try to murder her.
So how does she meet the family?
No, so she marries this man,
that's right.
And it's his family.
Does he know that they're trying to do that?
Yes.
So he's in on it?
Kind of. Yeah. So, I don't know.
I guess
it fits everything I ever loved.
There's so many questions I want you to tell me, but because I'm not going to watch it, but I want you to spoil it for anybody.
Spoilers. Anybody who's listening, spoilers. Ready or Not. So it's pretty awesome. So it starts off basically.
Can we put a thing on the thing so that they click on it and they can skip past the spoilers?
Sure.
If Spen I did,
will put a,
I either
Spen
put it
will
there.
Put a time code down below.
There's either a time code or a button or both.
Okay. So now getting into the spoiler talk. Ready or Not was amazing. Yeah. It's probably my favorite movie of the year, honestly. Which is saying something because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and that came out this year. But basically, this woman marries a man, and they're known for making board games. And to be initiated in the family, again, they have to play a game. That's just a thing a family does. Mm-hmm. She gets hide and seek. So it's pretty early on. They kind of show it shady and everything. And what they do is basically they made a pact with like someone, like their great grandfather made a pact with somebody that gave them their fortune with board games, but they have to play a game every time somebody new comes in the family, and if that game happens to be hide and seek, that means they have to sacrifice that person.
Oh wow.
So she gets the hide and seek. The husband's not on board, but he has to do it anyways. Yeah. But he has to do it anyways because of the family. And so she starts to hide. And one of the maids comes in and finds her.
Wait.
And then the maid gets killed.
What?
On accident.
Continue.
What are you eating?
It's so interesting.
Are those jelly beans?
No, it's like a nut mix with chocolate chips in it.
Okay. But yeah, so
Tell me more.
As it goes on, she's avoiding the family while they're trying to murder her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically a very dark comedy. You ever seen Cabin in the Woods?
No.
It's basically like that.
Mm.
For any of you who've seen it, it's a wonderful movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's a wonderful movie. They have a trope where all the maids die essentially, and she's fighting the family while they're trying to murder her, and it just ends in literally the perfect way. Yeah, they show a couple of them in the trailer, so it's okay.
Welcome,
but it's amazing.
Welcome, patrons. This is what you get.
This is the extra footage you get before we start the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a game that everyone knows called Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be talking about it and its clone. Well, supposed clone. We'll see.
You can't just start the actual podcast like that.
Sure I can. I can do whatever I want.
No.
You can just cut it out and start an actual intro after anyways.
But I can't because it's the Patreon section here.
I know, so they're going to hear that.
Whatever. You ready for this, Theo?
Yeah, let's do it.
Actually, give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna go get a glass of water. Just kidding.
Oh my god.
Just kidding. That'd be terrible because I can't edit this out.
Just 5 minutes of silence. People are just sitting.
They just see you sitting there like typing away, picking your nose.
Yep, pretty much.
Not right away because you wouldn't pick your nose at first because it would take a little bit for you to forget. I would be
aware. Yeah, I'd have to forget that the camera's there and then.
All right. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I am ready.
This is actually. Oh shoot! I never did an insult for you.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, whatever. The internet is outraged. One fan in particular, he smashed his PS4 in protest during a major convention over it. Is the anger justified? Who knows? Should we revolt in the streets? Probably not. But if you don't know already, we're talking about Genshin Impact, and you're listening to the Son of a Geek podcast.
Son of a Geek!
I'm your host, Spencer, and joining me this fine morning evening is, and that's pretty much all I got for the intro. I forgot to write.
You forgot to write the insult.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the co-host, Zio, who's amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ben, for complimenting me.
Hey, no problem. I was kind of thinking that we should change it up so that instead of me saying, like, my co-host so-and-so and so-and-so, that they should just be like, I'm this and I'm that. That way people can put a name to the voice if they've never listened or even know who we are. Because there's been a few...
I guess we can do that.
Yeah, because there's a few podcasts earlier. Oh, by the way, guys, this is the brand of Kleenexes that I like to use.
Scotties. What is Scotties?
You don't know what Scotties is? Yeah. No. I mean, I was going to make that a Patreon exclusive, Zio, because only Scotties? They can see it, but now you said it out loud, so it's whatever. They're not special anymore, I guess.
Sorry. Well, I mean, they get to see it at least. Just like how they get to see our glorious faces and your beautiful sunburn.
Thank you. They also get to see how I still haven't finished unpacking some of the stuff I was moving around. I've got some books and some drawing stuff, but yeah, this is Zio. He's my glorious, but not quite as glorious as myself co-host.
Or just as glorious, if not more glorious. Because
is all I have to say.
I'm the one with all the answers.
Are you now?
Yes. Whether they're right or wrong is to be debated, but
we'll see about that.
I have answers.
But I gotta say, this is the greatest I've looked on the podcast yet.
Me too.
Because I mean, you look fantastic.
I mean, we set the bar low. But...
Yeah, and the only reason why I say that is because I actually have like my webcam set up properly, and I didn't do anything with my hair though. Here, I'll fix it.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Ooh, got some glorious news.
Oh, go for it.
Well, everyone's aware of Spider-Man and how sad it is, but some glorious news on the other spectrum.
Wait, do you want to? Can I tell my joke?
Oh my god, fine. Go ahead, tell your joke.
Hey,
what's up, Spen?
What's the difference between Marvel and my bookshelf?
I don't know, Spen. What's the difference?
On my bookshelf, I can put Captain America and Spider-Man next to each other.
You really ruined the joke when you took that pause.
I know.
To click for Captain America.
I said
it's like you forgot.
I said Captain, and then I was about to say Marvel. I could have gone with that as well, but
I mean, yeah, you could have still done that. It would have been fine. But it hurts my feelings, man. It hurts so bad. I think Spider-Man's gonna come back eventually. We'll see what happens. We'll give it maybe 6 months to a year. We'll find out. But either way, what's interesting and funny about that is like I think it was the day before they announced Spider-Man is no longer part of the MCU. Sony bought Insomniac Studios, who made Spider-Man PS4.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they literally just bought him.
They're
so
like,
they can have Spider-Man more exclusive than it was already.
Buy you. Oh, I like that.
But no, it's great. It's great. It's good for Insomniac because they're a great company. They make wonderful games. The Ratchet and Clank series, which has always been great. And they did a fantastic job with Spider-Man. So I really look forward to having another great studio exclusive on the PS4.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Although I got into a massive debate at work today with a coworker about Spider-Man and Marvel. And he was trying to tell me about how important and crucial Spider-Man is to the Marvel, like the Avengers now. And I was like, what? That's garbage. Like, he's not even an Avenger. He turned it down. And then that's when I realized and remembered I still haven't seen Far From Home. So
you saw Infinity War, right?
Yeah, I saw Infinity War, but I haven't seen Far From Home.
He became an Avenger then. Tony Stark goes up to him and he's like, I knight thee, you're an Avenger now.
Wait, and does Far From Home happen before or after Infinity? It happens after.
Happens after.
Oh, that's right, because he is an Avenger, and then he's an Avenger in Infinity War, isn't he? I mean, in Far From Home. But to be fair,
I mean, he is pretty integral to the MCU because the MCU kind of shoehorned him into their plot. I had an idea that they're kind of put him on the forefront, and they're probably going to do like a Young Avengers with Spider-Man kind of the lead of that.
Not anymore.
But we'll see what happens. I still think Marvel's going to get Spider-Man back. I think they put a lot of stake into it, and Kevin Feige is going to get his way. I think it's going to be similar to the Gunn situation where they got rid of James Gunn for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and then they brought him back like 4 months later.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
I'm just going to quickly throw another great joke here, and it's that the reason why I haven't seen Far From Home is because I work a lot, and when I get home, the nearest theater is Far From Home.
Well, not a chance. I mean, they did bring it out again. They re-released it with 4 extra minutes of footage.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they added like another action scene to it.
Is this the part where they're like, hey, Spider-Man, you can't be with us anymore after this movie. Goodbye.
Probably.
That makes sense.
That one. Then he tries to fight the Avengers and he loses.
And they kill him, but he doesn't actually die because he's not there anymore.
Okay. So we gotta talk about Legend of Zelda and Genshin Impact, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
this is another great debate I had at work, too.
Wait, by the way, anybody listening who hasn't heard of this yet up to this point, you can go to Patreon and you can watch our thing, our faces, and watch us talk to each other as we watch each other talk to each other.
Our Patreon is important to us, and
we do that, yeah.
They didn't ask for it. We were just like, hey, let's just give them this. And let's just do it. Let's not really tell them.
And it's fine. We're telling you now. So if you're listening, you can watch our faces as we watch each other's faces, and we talk for it's $1, and we give this to you because we love you. And instead of just people giving us $1 for no reason, now you kind of have a reason. Plus, you get Discord perks.
I really hate I feel so sleazy. Like,
when you say for $1, you can see our faces.
For $1,
I try to say it differently, but whatever. It doesn't happen.
I mean, to be fair, we're not gonna have anybody miss out on anything. Like the core podcast is still gonna be there.
But you get extra podcasts. Like you get the before, maybe like, part of the after, maybe bits in between. You know, because No one's gonna understand what he bleeped until they watch it on Patreon.
Think of the podcast like an ice cream cone. It's still got the two main flavors, chocolate and vanilla.
What flavors? What? Why just chocolate and vanilla? Why not like strawberry chocolate?
What do you want to be?
Neapolitan.
What do you want to be?
I like banana splits.
Okay,
Does it have to be
banana split and vanilla. That's the two flavors of this ice cream cone. And if you're
wait, banana split's one whole flavor?
Zio, please.
It's a separate flavor?
Zio, I'm trying to do a thing here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So imagine the podcast is an ice cream cone, and it's got 2 scoops, 1 banana split and 1 vanilla. And then if you are a Patreon supporter, you get the sprinkles and the chocolate syrup too. The whole
what if you don't like sprinkles?
Then Zio. So this is not how this works.
I'm just trying to help out our viewers who has no idea what we're talking about.
All right. Well, I would like to bring up the very first most important part of the podcast. Zio hasn't played Breath of the Wild.
I have not.
Or as
I like to
Toll
think gives me
prefers it to be
insight.
called, as well as Thane, Breath of the Wilds.
As I like
That's
to call
fine,
it,
they don't watch this.
BOTW.
Toll does, maybe. Toll might.
So I'm officially going to call it BOTW now.
BOTW. What's
BOTW?
Breath of the Wilds?
Yeah. BOTW.
That sounds really dumb. I don't like it.
BOTW.
All right. BOTW.
All right. BOTW it is.
I feel that sounds like if we were to make an alcoholic beverage, that's what it would be called. BOTW.
Called BOTW?
Yo, man, pass the bottle. That sounds dumb. Okay, never mind.
I got the BOTW. All right, so tell me about Genshin Impact, Ben. I want to hear about it.
I mean, it feels like a love child between, like, if Breath of the Wild and a Tales of game got a little like, ooh, look at you, ooh. And then one thing led to another, and they had a little baby. That's what Genshin Impact would be.
Okay, all right. Now,
and that's what makes me really excited.
What is the controversy, though?
What's that?
What's the controversy of Genshin Impact and Breath of the Wild? Like, some people may not know this story.
Well,
I have to tell them.
It looks there are many aspects. It's basically taken Breath of the Wild, removed Link, removed the Triforce, and although the Triforce wasn't in it to begin with, and then they removed your special little like bombs and stuff from your Sheikah Slate, and then just added RPG elements of from Tales of Symphonia games. But it was all just like the real-time combat.
I don't know if it's just that close. Yeah, I mean,
I
definitely say it has the art style. I would say it probably has a similar story based off of the very small synopsis we have. But being a JRPG, I'm pretty sure it's going to get pretty crazy and wild.
But if you watch some of the videos of it, I guess it's maybe a little bit more difficult for you because you haven't played Breath of the Wild, but there's a lot of stuff that looks very, very similar.
I saw the slimes. Which are kind of like in almost every game. I saw like some of the creatures. Yeah, I can see some similarities there. I definitely see the art style, and
also,
I can see some monster copies, I guess. But things I see differently is, one, it has multiple characters that you can play, right? Breath of the Wild, or BOTW as most people call it.
Yeah, okay.
You can only play Link. And this seems like you have 4 main characters. And also you can kind of change the elements.
Correct.
So like what elements you have. And it looks more JRPG-ish.
Yes.
In my opinion, I'd say it's closer to like Kingdom Hearts than Tales of Symphonia or Tales of games.
Okay,
because
I haven't
Tales
played Kingdom Hearts,
run,
so I wouldn't know.
When you run into a monster, you go into this little map and you fight. But in this game, it looks like monsters just kind of roam around or appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's essentially the same kind of open world aspect that Breath of the Wild was.
Okay. Now, do you think... I think this could be a little bigger than Breath of the Wild.
I don't know. It's got a lot of backlash right now, which I think is... I can understand where it's coming from, just because there's a lot of footage that they've shown where it kind of feels like... I mean, it looks very similar and very identical in the way that they've done... kind of just the... I don't know, it's hard to say. You can't really say the environment just because there's a village Because the art styles are very close in certain ways, so that stuff looks similar. But
also something to take into...
So there's...
What about the dungeons?
In Breath of the Wild, you have this paraglider that you can use, that you jump and you kind of glide over these different... you just glide in the air. And then there's certain dungeons that have these different elements where there's these massive, wind bursts that come up that you can go and catch and ride and fly over and go to different areas. And just... I don't know. See, this could just be really nitpicking it, but there's I saw a video actually just before the podcast here where it was the interior of a dungeon and the exploration, and there was a lot of stuff that was very similar to how Breath of the Wild designed and built their dungeons. Just with some of the different mechanics, where we would see the characters running along, they would jump off the edge, and then they don't have a glider, they just hold their arms out and their cape starts flapping in the wind behind them as they start gliding down, and they hit these same kind of wind drafts that they have in Breath of the Wild, that kind of carries you over to the next areas, which I don't know. I mean, I don't want people to think that I'm arguing saying that Genshin Impact is a copy, because I don't. I just see...
You don't think it's a copy?
I think there's a lot of similar aspects, and in all honesty, I'm extremely excited to get Genshin Impact and play it.
I am also very excited, because based off of the video I watched, it looks very exciting. It looks pretty awesome. I mean, I'm watching it right now. I'm watching a 30-minute gameplay of it.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty intense. Like I said, it kind of makes me think of Kingdom Hearts in its style of combat and such. Granted, maybe not exactly, but I do see the Legend of Zelda art style. I
still
think it is going to be different.
And you just watched and you just looked at some footage from it, it would look like you're just in a different part of Breath of the Wild, but I don't know if that's fair, because
until you look at the characters.
Yeah, but I don't think it's fair to really make that kind of judgment that a lot of people are making, just because if you took, what's a good example? I'm pretty sure if you took a section of God of War and compared it to a spot in, I don't know, what's that one with the girl that runs around and fights those robot animals?
Robot animals?
Yeah.
Nier Automata?
No, it's the one where she...
Oh, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you took a couple different places there, if you didn't know, then maybe as long as you didn't see the characters, then maybe some of the places could have looked familiar. I don't know.
I would say if some of the things could look more like Dark Souls. I thought some of the monsters in God of War were kind of similar to some Dark Soul monsters. Obviously, Dark Soul has a different tone, which made the difference. But if you gave them the same palette, basically, you could probably get them confused. I would say I would only think somebody would ever be confused by this if they literally had no idea about either game.
Okay.
Mainly because the style, the second you see a character, the art style of the characters are vastly different.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
This is definitely more JRPG.
Yeah.
Just in how it designs its characters. And again, anybody who has played a JRPG, usually every JRPG ends up in some weird cosmic thing where it's alternate dimensions, and the last level you're just floating in space and whatever weird shit. I'm sure this game will be very different.
It's got a lot of really... I think the reason why I kind of compared it to Tales of Symphonia with the Cross of Breath of the Wild is because one of the video, I'll see if I can find it again and I'll send it to you, where it had a very Tales of Symphonia-esque kind of starting point where it showed a whole bunch of the characters running around in these massive city, this massive city situation.
Yeah.
They were going and fighting different things. There's this giant dragon that they're going and talking to, and there's just... Yeah. There's so much.
I can see where there's definitely some inspiration from there too. Obviously, there's an inspiration from Breath of the Wild, but also coming from a game developer background, Ben, how long does it take to make a game?
A long time, but before we get too much farther into that, there is one thing that people that are probably screaming about that we haven't mentioned yet, and it's that the biggest comparison between the two of them is Genshin Impact has copied 100%, like one for one, the whole menu system and how everything looks in there with the inventory, items, cooking food. That's one of the biggest things that a lot of the fans are kind of getting frustrated about, and it's that it's if you go through the menus of both games, besides some like minor differences, it looks identical one for one. Same with the style and idea that the way that they do like the food with the different stuff is like the power-ups and stuff. I believe that's supposed to be pretty identical as well.
Let me ask you this. Yeah. When you cook in Breath of the Wild, is it a meter that goes back and forth like this and you have to hit the right spot?
Do they have that in Genshin?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. No, I didn't know that.
Is that a thing that happens in Breath of the Wild?
No, in Breath of the Wild, you throw stuff in a pot and then it makes a cool little sound or a little jingle, and then you get the food.
Well, this you have a little mini game to cook your food. So you put things in a pot. Then you have this meter that bounces back and forth, and you have to hit it in the right spot, I guess, to give it, special cook.
Oh, okay.
As for the menu, I don't know. I haven't seen anything about a menu yet, personally, but
I don't know if
really
they can justify that.
Identical?
Though. I mean,
yeah. Well, I don't know if I can either, because how many games have similar menus?
Actually, not a lot. Like
really? I mean, you think the menus are that different in every game? Because I don't. I guess I'd have to see the menus to really see them, but like, I never really ever nitpicked a game to where they copied their menu. I mean, if it's a good menu, why does it matter, right?
But no, that's true. Like the menu's good, and I think it works really well. And I'm not surprised that's part of the reason why they've grabbed it, because it's super easy and fast to move around in with a controller.
I think people are just finding something to be outraged about personally, because fans and nerds are very sensitive. And we all get upset over silly little things.
Especially when it's about like a series or something like Final Fantasy. Like fans of Final Fantasy, they're all super protective and they love their stuff. And The Legend of Zelda is one where the fans are a little on the cray side. And I think this is the first time where anything like this has actually happened, and I think there's just a lot of people that are just furious and outraged because it's The Legend of Zelda. It's the sacred thing.
I have another thing now. I could be off slightly. Okay. I haven't played this in a while.
Okay,
but there's a game on the PSP or the PS Vita.
I won't be able to help you out with this then.
Her name was Cat. Was the game basically you controlled Gravity.
Oh, that game. I don't know what it's called, but it looks so cool.
Gravity Rush.
I think Gravity Rush. Isn't the second one on the PlayStation 4?
Yes, it is. So Gravity Rush, not gonna lie, graphics look pretty similar.
Well, it's not that part, that it's the combination of the art style with how the
I'm saying the art style too, though. Like,
no, but it's a combination of the art style and the mechanics being very similar. But but they're not, though.
Let me post this, and you tell me that you can't see some Breath of the Wild inspiration.
Well, I don't know if I can say Breath of the Wild inspiration. It's almost like the cell
shading of the characters.
Yeah, no, the cell, I don't know if we can call it inspiration. It's just kind of the art style of cell shading. But
right. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. This came out before Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but that's just the characters. Like, the environment looks nothing like anything you would find in those games.
Okay. I'm just saying, though, like, it is a character design, and you can see the similarities. Like, you could peel these characters off of this game and throw them in Breath of the Wild, and I think they would still blend pretty well.
But part of it is there were... it was one of the initial launch trailers that came out for Genshin Impact. I think it was actually one of the ones that was released at the convention, where it showed a lot of the overland, and that, like, it almost... I'll look it up as well. There was... It looked basically like the Breath of the Wild, but with this new character. It looked like one for one. almost. And that was one of the big things. They showed some different aspects of it where they were kind of cycling through the menus, and the menu was the exact same as Breath of the Wild's. It showed these special guardian, they weren't exactly guardians. It was like a cross between like these two different characters from two different enemies in Breath of the Wild, where it still shot out the massive lasers with the same kind of way that the major kind of guys that you fought in Breath of the Wild were. But I mean, like, the more and more information that's coming out from and about Genshin Impact, the less they kind of seem and appear to be very similar.
Dude.
What's up?
They have manga for Genshin Impact.
Do they?
Like colorized manga.
Really?
Check this out. I'm going to send it to you right now. Like, this is quite a bit. Like, they have a lot of content here. Like, I think this is like, I don't know if this is leading up to the game, but like, I clicked on the prologue manga, and it's 74 pages colorized. It looks really good.
Oh, this is actually really cool.
Yeah.
So these are all like so it's actual manga from it.
This is manga.
Is it manga or is it manga? I grew up hearing manga.
I don't care. That's where I sit.
Oh, okay. This is actually really cool.
Yeah. It's really cool. It's colorized. The art style is really good. You know, despite like being initial, seeming like a ripoff, I think they're really developing their own world and everything. It's just an art style and maybe a similar menu. But I mean, if you find something successful, why not just borrow it and use it in a thing? I totally would encourage that. So,
I mean, there's some very strong similarities. Obviously the style is done a little bit differently, but the fighting is very similar as well, which for this style of game, I think the fighting kind of makes sense to be this way. There's no other way that I would put it.
Yeah.
But they've also got the same kind of climbing and
I saw.
It's tough because Breath of the Wild did such a good job that BOTW did such a good job that it makes sense to do this kind of stuff. And I don't think. I mean, I don't know if I can just sit there and watch.
How many other games have done this type of thing? Right, like
none that I can think of.
Go back. Okay, maybe not copied exact art style, but like every game borrows elements from other games.
Mm-hmm.
When Battle Royales first came out, every game made a Battle Royale, right?
Mm-hmm. But what's different about that, though, is most of the... I don't know, I didn't really look into tons and tons of the Battle Royales. There was obviously a lot of clones that came out. But I think part of the issue is these clones were never by like another major party, like a major company as big as the guys making Genshin Impact. And that might be part of the thing.
As big? They're an indie studio, though. They're not a very big company.
They are, but never...
They made a bunch of mobile games before they made this one.
But never has... I'm going to use the term clone just for this sake, but never has a clone of another game been brought to this kind of light, like at a convention, and had been at such a... I don't know if I can say center stage, but... presented with the support as much as this one has. Most of the time when you find these ports, they're just small little mobile games that you just kind of stumble across by chance, or maybe they're promoted on like the deep dark web through different random websites. I don't know, it's hard to say, because I mean the announcement trailer has a lot of footage from it and it has certain aspects that it just, I don't know, it could just be mostly to do with the toon shading, and that's what makes one of the biggest comparisons. But then with that tied in with just how big Breath of the Wild is, and with the core mechanics of Breath of the Wild basically being used in this, but them making their own kind of twist and turn on it, that it just... Right. I don't know.
I don't see anything wrong. I mean, obviously, I understand the flack. You don't want a complete clone. I mean, it's uninspired. But
yeah, but that's not what this did.
I don't think this is doing that either. I think, obviously, they probably pushed the look of BOTW just to draw attention in.
Maybe. I don't know.
but I think it's definitely going to separate itself as it goes along. Just based off just doing any minuscule of research, you can kind of see they're going into their own direction. Like, they went pretty in depth. They made their own manga. Like, that's crazy.
Exactly.
This is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 19 manga issues that they've released for this game already. So and each one has like 20 plus pages on the manga. Like, the first one has 74 pages, and everything after that is like 20 to 25 pages. That's a lot of commitment and developing story for these characters.
And I mean, if we were to break it down to like the core mechanics and core mechanics of the game, then you could say yes, maybe they're copying. But they've added tons and tons of different elements. Like we've talked about, like the JRPG stuff. They have an actual leveling system. They've got different abilities. There was one video I watched where they're exploring through a dungeon, fighting these different creatures, and then she climbs up a wall, jumps off of it, shoots out this orb that hits the ground. That's like this gravity thing that starts like sucking all of these creatures in and around it. As their dungeons are a lot more. Like, they're bigger, more complex, and there's different like level versions you can enter through. Yeah,
it's just going to be more fantastical than BOTW, I think.
I don't know if you can use the word fantastical.
But I mean, the way you just explained that, can you do that in BOTW?
Well, no, you can't do that. Okay, I see what you mean by fantastical now. Okay,
yes. So that's what I'm saying. Like, its combat system, I think, is going to be more fantastical than just Breath of the Wild. Or BOTW, as I think
a safer way to say it is more JRPG, because there's going to be a lot of people that are like, you're saying it's going to be more fantastic.
I didn't say that. I said fantastical.
I know,
which
but
I'm using the word in its literal definition.
That's not how people are going to hear it.
At me. Just at me. That's fine. I need more followers on Twitter anyways.
Oh, okay.
But no, I think it's going to be perfectly fine. I think as it progresses, it's going to definitely be noticeable. And I think it might have been on purpose. This company probably pushed this whole Breath of the Wild like story on purpose, like to make it seem like it's more. Because, I mean, some people say no press is bad press.
No, that's
People
fair.
are talking about this game. It's bringing a lot of attention to it.
Well, because if they hadn't had this backlash towards it, I probably wouldn't have heard of this game for a very long time.
I might have just stumbled upon it because I was looking for a JRPG, because I always look for JRPGs. But yeah, again, I wouldn't have heard about it so soon, or actually have been excited about it, because then it made me do research about this game, and the more I've learned about it, the more I actually really want to play this game.
Yeah, like there's so many really cool aspects that they've put into it.
Only sad thing about it now is I kind of wish it was on the Switch and not a PS4 exclusive.
I know, but I mean, if it was on the Switch, I don't know if it'd be capable of the kind of stuff that it's doing.
That's fair. It is doing a lot, but I mean, if it, PS4.
But I guess The Witcher's on it.
Hoping
The Witcher's on the Switch now.
On it. That's true.
It's also like the graphics have been brought down a lot in certain aspects. Although the bathtub scene is still just as good. They did a cut down on that. I don't know. It's just a cutscene. It's just a video that plays.
Oh, but I don't know. I'm pretty excited for it. I don't think it's a ripoff. I
don't think so
it's
either.
It's gonna be fine.
I think it took a lot of inspiration.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, and I think it's improved in its own unique way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could be a little biased because look at Next to Nothing. A lot of people compare us to Red versus Blue, and some people could say we're a direct ripoff in some degree because we have similar characters. But, I mean, there's obvious inspiration there.
Well, it's tough because we know that happened by chance. And but I don't know, the more you get into the series, I think the less like they are, but I haven't seen much of Red versus Blue. I've only seen a couple episodes.
It's true. We do kind of separate a little bit. Like, our characters do split up more, but it's hard because I think they use character tropes, you know?
Oh, okay.
And that's kind of where it sits, and so you're going to have similar characters. And I don't think the characters are going to be anything like BOTW once we get to it. I think this is definitely going to turn into its own thing. Well,
I think you should play BOTW.
I want to. I really do.
Before you play Genshin Impact, that
as
way,
as soon as it goes on sale.
It's not going to go on sale. I could actually. No, I can't mail you mine because I stream when I finish Breath of the Wild on my stream. I'll mail it to you. How's that?
All right, sounds good. All right, and then I'll mail you The Last of Us, even though you already have a copy.
Yeah.
I'll just mail it to you to remind you that you need to play it.
Still haven't played it. I want to.
You just got to get through it.
It's gonna be the next thing. I think it's gonna be the next thing I do on my stream.
Okay.
So, which will, I think it'll be good because I've only done open world exploration games so far. So this one will be more like linear and focused, which will be good.
Yeah, and I think that'll be fun. I like the breaks in between. I can't wait for The Last of Us 2. It's gonna be such a great game.
Well, it's not till 2020 now.
That's fine.
And then not till 2021. It's gonna be like Final Fantasy 7. It's just not coming out.
Nope. March 3rd, 2020.
Well,
I will be dead to the world for a minimum of 3 days.
They still haven't mentioned how many parts it's going to come out in. So we don't even know. Do we know how far Final Fantasy the first one's going to go to?
They say this is just Midgar, which blows my mind because if you play the original Final Fantasy 7, you can technically get through Midgar in like a couple hours.
What? I think I'm through Midgar.
Yeah, it's a very small portion of the game.
I'm at the part right now where I'm not. You're gonna just realize how not very far into Final Fantasy VII I am, but I'm at the part where one of the girls was kidnapped, and I think I'm not at the point where I've got that outfit yet. The lady outfit.
Oh, you're still in Midgar.
Oh, that's still Midgar?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're getting there though.
I'm still in Midgar.
You're literally like technically maybe an hour and a half in the game.
Oh, I've been playing it for way more than that.
I'm saying like as many times as I've beaten it, I would get to that part in like an hour or less.
Mm-hmm.
Just because one, I'd skip all the talking and stuff, and I would just fly through. But
I loved the part with the barrels. It was so stupid. Where you like knock them off.
Oh, in the church?
It was so dumb. Because she's so strong anyways. So that even if I missed, it didn't matter. She'd just kick all their butts.
Yeah. But like, there's plenty more mini games. Dude. Okay. Like, there's so many ridiculous mini games. There's one on the last disc specifically that's insane that I really hope eventually gets into the remake.
Oh, okay.
But I'm very interested to see. Like, this first part is supposed to just be Midgar, and they're expanding it, and it's supposed to be like huge, which I'm very excited about. Mm-hmm. But I'm curious what they're gonna do too to make it, if that's gonna be just one part. Like in the grand scheme of Final Fantasy, like the real game, I would say Midgar is maybe, and I'm being generous, a 10th of the game.
How many parts there are gonna be?
I don't know. Like,
it's kind of scary.
When they first said they're going to release it in like episodic, I'm thinking, okay, naturally you think one for every disc.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I just started thinking, no, I wouldn't do that. Probably like a part 1 and part 2, because technically disc 3 is all exploration. There isn't a whole lot of story in disc 3.
Oh, okay.
It's mostly just open world.
Interesting.
And a bunch of endgame content.
Because there's a few Final Fantasy games that have done that, where there's a large portion at the beginning where it's all just kind of somewhat linear, where you've just got a direction you're going, and then eventually gets to a part where it's open world, and then it's like it's like an entirely different game.
Yeah, that's what 7 is. So Midgar feels like an entirely different game from the rest of 7.
Oh, okay.
Like, so Midgar is pretty linear. I mean, as you can tell, like you've just been going from one section to another. Mm-hmm. But once you get past that, like it's all open world from there.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do have a story progression you follow and things like that, but it's nowhere near as linear. Like Midgar feels like it could be an entirely different game, which is part of the reason I'm pretty excited about this. Like I'm really excited to explore more of Midgar, because you don't really get a lot of it.
You don't know if you're going to get to explore more of it.
You absolutely do. They said you can.
Oh.
They said there's a lot more happening in Midgar. This time around.
I wonder if there was a bunch of stuff they originally wanted to have in the game, but they're like, this is taking forever, let's take all this out. And now
maybe
all this stuff you get to experience. And then maybe it's gonna make the game bad.
You think it'll make it bad?
I don't know. I just want to throw out these maybes.
It's possible. It's absolutely possible. It could be. Like I'm not open-minded. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be.
You're not open-minded. You hear it here first.
That's right. I'm not. It is gonna be great. I think it's gonna be great. I think they're doing a lot of things right. I watched like the little bit of gameplay footage that they've released, and I think they're doing a lot of things right. The thing that I am most concerned about is just the story, but I have faith. Mostly the biggest fear I have, I guess, is if they make Cloud a lot like his interpretation in the movie Advent Children. Okay.
Well, that was my biggest problem is Advent Children looked so great, and then when Final Fantasy VII came out after that, just everything just like what happened? It looks so bad. It's garbage compared to Advent Children.
Whatever. Actually, in game, I think looks better than Advent Children.
Really?
I think
you're dumb. I'm gonna throw out some harsh words there, but you're dumb.
It's more colorful. I think Advent Children is very muted in colors.
Well, but I mean the graphics are so good. The fights are so great.
I think Final Fantasy VII looks great.
No,
I think it looks fantastic.
All right, I want you when we're finished the podcast, go and look up a picture of Advent Children. Look up a picture of in-game, and then
no, I'm gonna do it right now.
All right, you're gonna do it right now.
Advent Children.
It is incredible the difference. Like that movie looked fantastic when it came out, and it still looks good with its graphics now.
Oh, I agree.
Final Fantasy VII looked great when it came out, but you look back at it now.
I'm not talking about the original. I'm talking about the remake.
Oh, you're talking about the remake.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about the original. I'm like, fantastic. No, there's no I'd say it looks better than that. Looks better. But no, if that's what we're talking about, the remake, for sure, the in-game of the remake, I think, looks better.
Yeah, the graphics of the remake just look fantastic. Yeah. I mean, look, just right here, man. I mean, just look at that cloud image. Ugh,
I know, it's so good. It's so good.
I think they are definitely doing something right because one...
Although he looks more like a girl now. Like he looks more like a man in that top picture. Where you've got like that, a little bit of like that. Maybe it's just the profile.
It's the profile.
But here, like, is it a guy? Is it a girl? It could be a girl cosplaying a guy. You don't know.
Well, Cloud does dress up like a girl.
He does.
But I think the one thing they're doing right is in Advent Children, they made him very like emo and melancholy. And I understand he had cancer, whatever. But in the original game, he's pretty cocky. Wow. And I was worried because the first time they showed it, Cloud was very slouchy. He was very pale. And I'm like, oh no.
Well, wasn't there like a time frame that went by? Like a period of time passed? 2 years. Yeah, 2 years is a long time, Zio.
I understand, but I'm saying like the remake of the game, I was worried they're going to make him all melancholy and whiny. 2 years. I know. It's only been a year.
Yeah. 2 years is a long time. A lot can change.
But look at the differences from when they first announced the remake and then their most recent announcement. Look, see, he's really pale. He's scrawny. He's slouching. He looks unsure of himself. And then in the new one, they give him a lot more confidence when he walks, which I'm happy about. Like, that gives me hope.
They shrunk his face. His face is more like the skin's been pulled back, and like
I don't think they shrunk his face. Round. I think they just made his hair.
Oh heck no!
Less poofy.
He's 100%. 2019 is a girl. 100%. A girl with big arms. 100%.
100%.
Oh yeah.
So that's the plot twist. Cloud's a girl now. Huh?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see it coming.
I certainly didn't see it coming.
No, that's the plot twist of a century.
I'm so excited about this game, dude. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be glorious.
In all fairness, I'm more excited for Genshin Impact.
I don't know about that. Final Fantasy VII is the greatest game in the world.
I'm gonna finish playing Final Fantasy VII before I play the remake, so I'm probably never gonna get to the remake.
Oh my gosh. Probably not. Either way, I'll tell you what. I'll play BOTW when you finish Final Fantasy VII.
You're not playing that game for a long time. The Last of Us is higher priority than Final Fantasy VII.
Okay. All right, fine. I will play BOTW when you finish The Last of Us.
I don't think, honestly, I don't expect that to be too much longer. I think that's the first. Is that the first time I've said that? I think that's the first time I've said that now.
Yeah.
Because
I remember you've said many times, oh, I'm about to start playing. I'll start playing it soon.
I'm getting the itch for it, though.
Okay. You're not going to be disappointed. Once you get to a certain point, you're going to feel hooked, and then you're going to continue to play.
Yeah, well, I'm stuck at that one point where I went to go and play it, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to play it, but I'm like, oh, but I kind of wanted to stream it. And then I was just like, and well, what point? I think I've finished everything in Breath of the Wild on stream except we're doing the Master Sword trials right now, which unfortunately that's gonna be a couple weeks, I bet, because I'm playing Master Mode and I'm not very good. And then after that, it's just beating Ganon, and then as far as I'm concerned, I'm done. I'm not going around and getting everything. Otherwise, I'd be streaming that for the rest of my life. But yeah, once that's done, then unless I just say screw it and I just switch over to it. Who knows? You never know.
You could.
I could.
You could. Absolutely could.
Absolutely could.
Absolutely.
Now, but did you? Or no, I'll save it. Hold on, I'll save that.
What do you say? Okay. We're saving it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think this is a great time to start wrapping up the podcast. Do you have any other things you want to mention about Genshin Impact?
It looks awesome. I'm super excited. I can't wait to play it. When's it coming out?
I don't know. I don't know if it has a release date yet.
Ah, dang it. It needs a release date.
Hold on.
I'll tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to read all that manga, though.
Nobody knows this yet. Genshin Impact release date is 2020.
2020. Yeah, coming soon. I'll tell you what I am going to do, though. I'm going to go read all of that manga.
All the manga?
Yeah, because it looks great. I like the art style, and it's all colored, so I'm super excited about that. And it's already been dubbed for me.
Okay, let's take bets right now. How many playable characters are you going to have in Genshin Impact? Not like, I'm not saying like 3, as in like those are the amount you can choose from, but how many do you think you can actually choose from like a pool of characters? I'm going to go with 8. I'm going to say there's 8 characters.
I was going to say 8. Fuck. All right, fine. I'm going to say 6. Just it's not going to be an odd number.
No.
Well,
if it is, then we both fail.
Yeah, I'm going to say 6.
All right. We better not be playing Price is Right rules. It's like there's only 3.
I'm going to say 6, but you get a guest character.
A guest character.
A lot of
like
games are doing guest
you mean?
Characters. No, like you get to play this character temporarily for the story purposes. No, I'm gonna stick with 6. I'm gonna stick with 6.
I was gonna say you're wrong. There's not gonna be a guest character.
There could be.
No, definitely not.
There could be.
But
Final Fantasy does it a lot.
Yeah, but Final Fantasy is different. It's the worst series in the entire world, and I hate all of it except for all of them. I haven't played 8 yet, though.
It's the worst one.
Well, they've remade...
I'm not a fan of it. You would love 8. You would really love 8.
I think so.
I think you would love 8 a lot.
I hope so.
I think 8 would probably be your favorite, honestly.
I've heard a lot about 8, and I think I'm going to enjoy it. I really enjoyed Lightning Returns.
Its gameplay is fun. I do like its magic system as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a pretty cool mini game, too, with cards. But,
that's awesome.
The story just really lacks for me.
Mm.
And the characters, I think, are kind of lame.
Oh.
But I think you would love it. And
I'll
be happy to make fun of you because you're wrong.
Thank you?
Yeah, no problem.
Excuse me.
But everybody, what do you think about BOTW? Do you think Genshin Impact is basically a BOTW clone? Have you played BOTW? Are you going to play BOTW? Are you going to play Genshin Impact? Because I am.
What are you going to call Genshin Impact?
What am I going to call it?
Yeah.
Gi.
Geppy.
Oh, just Gi.
Why Gi?
Because G-I. Gi.
I'm going to call it Gekt.
Genshin Impact.
Gekt, because if you take out everything except for the beginning and the end, you get Gekt. Gekt. That's done.
All right, what did you think about BOTW and Gakt, everybody?
You already asked them that, Zio.
Well, I got to change it to fit the Gakt. I'm trying to adapt for you.
Thanks for listening to the Sunovageek Podcast, my good people. Yep.
I think there's going to be 8 characters.
Yeah, there's for sure going to be 8.
I'm sticking with 6. There's definitely going to be 8.
How mad are we going to be when there's only 3?
There's at least 4.
You think so?
I know so, because if you go to the home page, you click on characters, there's 4 characters that pop up.
Oh. What if there's only 4?
Oh, wait, hold on. There's 7 elements in the game. Maybe there's 7 characters. Maybe we're both wrong.
Maybe we are both wrong.